students, gallery members, and artists. I want to start with a quote from Picasso. He says, "Every piece I do is one towards the possibility that one will be decent." A quote from Oscar Wilde. "Anxiety is terrific. I only hope it never ends." Now I'll come back to these quotes again as I try and give you my rendition of what it takes to be a really good creative person. Several things stand large in my life. My wedding, 61 years of marriage, and 66 years of extreme kindness, patience, caring, and love. The birth of my 3 children, Sean, Shannon, and Corey. The births of my grandchildren, Cameron, Olivia, Simon, Liam, and Lynx. I'll be taking a questionnaire after this about these names. My graduation from the Art Institute of Chicago, an incredible experience, but I only wish I had had the sense when I was there to have fully experienced it. Then I was being trained to be an egocentric artist, and what could they possibly teach me, you know? In 1967, I was introduced to the idea of becoming a teacher. This really screwed up my mind and my life plans. Because, as you know, I was going to be the next Chagall, the next Miro, the next Henry Moore. Why not shoot for the best? When you're in school, why wouldn't you? However, I didn't have the talent, I didn't have the drive or the ability. I also realized I might become a decent teacher. I've been thinking about this idea since 2020. How will I do this? What will I do? I settled on the idea of the show because PYRO Gallery allowed me to do this unconventional show. They did a lot of work to present this show to us. And they have done everything possible to make it happen, and I am grateful to them. I wanted to honor 25 of my most successful students out of 7,000 possibilities. Of course, 7,000 is a random number. I don't know it's true, but I think it's true. I am the one responsible for your names being spelled wrong. That's not unusual for me. I've taught in quite a number of higher institutions, higher learning institutions, and I think I've been doing it for 47 years or so. Now, my criteria for selecting you, 25, personal continued creativity, continued excellence, longevity, are you still creating? A strong personality needed to continue being great. Keep it down back there.
Back to the class.
Tolerance of me as your teacher. As many of you know, I have a long history, a lifetime of having as my close friends or fiends, depression and anxiety. And as you probably know, I had a habit of sitting somewhere, having coffee, waiting for you to come, waiting for you to address me. Even on the days I didn't teach, I was there. Now I'm already aware and always aware of another one of my truths, and that is I am never, nor have I ever been the brightest of bulbs. But we talked about your grandma, tests, school, teachers, concerns, relationships in your lives, and I learned a lot from that. I've always believed part of me that makes creative people who they are, and the fact that most of us, if not all of us, are those people. Those people that experience both the lowest lows and the extreme highs. And I have a chart that I would be able to bring out to say, you would know all of these great artists who had those highs and lows. It seemed to be necessary. I know that it is a privilege that many of you would not really have wanted to experience. But think of this. You have been given a voice like no one else as a creative person. You have been given a privilege like no one else. A responsibility like no one else. You are the voice of the world, and you must use it. You've made my life worthwhile. You have allowed me to be me. You have tolerated my idiosyncrasies. You have taught me so much about how to be a creative teacher and a creative person. You have endured my jokes, which now are the titles of my drawings. You have cared for me, and I will tell you this. Many times when I arrived at the classroom with a heavy load of depression, one of you would call out, "Hey, Bob," because you knew I didn't ever use the title of professor. I felt that should be earned. And you changed the way I lived that day, the way I felt that day. It made a big difference. The gratefulness and respect I have for you is abundant, and it fills me. Now, I don't want to end this talk with you possibly feeling that I'm taking credit for your creativity. That is entirely your fault. That wasn't funny. It was me you allowed to be who I became with all my failures and my faults. I am so blessed for the opportunity to have guided you and the opportunity to know you. And I hope I created the possibility that I was a decent teacher to you.
Not bad.
Who was that? Your stay after class?
Picked up the terracotta.
No, that's right. Now, let me introduce these people, the reasons for this show. The people I call friends. Please hold your applause until after we're done with these 25 names. Oh, I also have 20 drawings in there you might want to look at.
Still Bob.
Still by Bob's art, hell. Larry Beisler, just raise your hand so we can all see who you are. Caleb Bischoff. Dave Caudell. Gail Serlin, who I spelled her name wrong, of course. Fong Chu. Jamie Coram. Fred DeFrenzy, I spelled your name wrong too. But you'll overlook it. William Duffy, he's got his own show of drawings opening tonight. So he's busy with that, yes. Peter Golombowski. There he is, back in the corner, as usual. Nathan Hendrickson, down there. Mary Dennis Canapel. Shohei Katayama. Jason Kelty.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, Jason.
Teresa Kester.
Yeah, Teresa.
Rex Lagerstrom, he is away tonight. Mike McCarthy.
Hey, Mike.
Darcy Miku, who is no longer with us. Liz Price, who is at home in Philadelphia. Karen Terhune. Mike Ratterman.
Where is Mike?
He was here. He was here. Dan Selter, who is no longer with us. Hubert Steinhauser, who lives in Switzerland. Loyola Walters. Ron Weiss, who is in New York. And Mike Zoller.
Hey, Mike.
He's here.
I thank you all for the privilege of teaching you.
The honor and privilege of thanking you, and I have two things, as the only member of PYRO who started PYRO and is still here as a member. So So I'm using that as kind of a privilege. Nobody told me to do this. But I have two things to say. One, when you applied to be a member, I was so excited because it was a great honor to have you as a member.
Thank you.
Secondly, these artists that created this wonderful show, it's a tribute to you that there's still artists. That doesn't happen very often, you know. So it is a tribute to you as a teacher, as a wonderful person, that is possible.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I need more vitamins.
I just want to add one thing too. If I can just say one
Thank you.
more thing.
Okay, you can.
Because Bob, I've been through many teachers, Bob not only taught us how to make stuff, like your challenge of the 8-foot sculpture, of which I made 8 big feet, which was not the actual challenge, but you taught us how to be a human.
Oh, I love it.
That's perfect. Rock babies at the home
Home of the Innocents. I now take care of the homeless.
Yes, and then he went down to Guatemala and helped with justice for everybody. I mean, you are such a teacher. You're a born teacher, teacher of art, but teacher of human, and I'm so grateful to know you.
Thank you.